Call the February 6th Heritage Preservation Commission meeting to order. Liz, would you please do a roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Bonin. Here. Davies. Mueller.
Here.
Kleiss.
Here.
Recius.
Here.
Welvert.
Here.
And Chairperson Coleman.
Here. That moves us on to item number 3, adopting the agenda. Has everyone had a chance to review the agenda? Yes.
Yes.
Would anyone like to make a motion? Motion made by Mueller,
I'll second.
second by Place to adopt the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All ayes, motion carries. That moves us on to item number 4, visitor presentation. Is there anyone in the audience or on Zoom that would like to speak about something on the agenda?
That isn't on the agenda.
That isn't on the agenda? Oh, I see, for first.
Yep.
All right. Now we'll move on to item number 5, approving the previous HPC minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review the December 5th, 2023 HPC minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Would anyone like to make a motion to approve them?
I'll move to approve them. Second.
By Place, seconded by Mueller, to approve the December 5th, 2023 HPC minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Just for clarification.
Oh, sorry.
Our records, first is by Welvert,
Oh,
second by Mueller.
Sorry. I was looking over that way and I didn't know who said it.
It's all
My
good.
apologies.
All good.
To approve the December 5th, 2023 HPC minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All ayes, motion carries. That moves us on to item number 6, consent agenda. There are no consent items, so we'll move on to item number 7, action items. The action items are as a public hearing to approve the site alteration permit for 121 Hickory Street North, Kenny Schultz, HPC number 2024-01.
I'm going to be doing a presentation here, so I just share my and
Good, because I won't remember everything.
you just have to wait for questions.
It's only been vacant for 20 years.
You're right.
so.
Right?
All right. Everyone can see the presentation up there. Great. So we've got a site alteration permit in front of us this evening for the address of 121 Hickory Street North, which is also known as the Frederick E. Dutoit House. So to give you some visual of where that site is located, it is located in downtown Chaska. It's on the west side of Highway 41, which is kind of the midsection of downtown Chaska. It's located right off of Hickory Street on the western side of that street, and it's highlighted in blue here. And then more of a zoomed in perspective here, just to give you an understanding of layout and kind of where the house sits today. In terms of the historic significance of this site, it's one of the few properties within the city that has both designations, so both local and national designation, historic designation within the city. It was built in 1895, so it's certainly one of our oldest properties within the city. It was built to replicate the Queen Anne style in terms of some of the features that you see on the home. And it was made out of Chaska brick, which is one of our more prominent materials of its time. Eventually, it was painted white, which is how it looks today. But underneath that paint is the authentic Chaska brick that a lot of our historic properties are well known for. It also housed a very prominent family of Chaska's history, the Dutoit family. They were one of the leading families that was responsible for Chaska's commercial growth. Specifically, Frederick E. Dutoit was one of the owners of Chaska Herald and ran the newspaper company for over 100 years. Not him himself, but his family did overtake the business for a handful of years. But he was basically the instigator within their family to run the newspaper company that amount of time. And that, as you know, has a very prominent background in history within the city, being the sole newspaper publication within the city. Mr. Dutoit was also affiliated with politics and was both a representative in the legislature and was once a state senator. So all of that feeds into the significance of this site in both the family significance as well as the architectural significance of this home. The image on this slide dates back to 1900. And as you can see, there's quite a few differences in the building when it was originally constructed versus what you see today. And one of those main prominent features that is no longer there is the turret on the right-hand side of the building. But a lot of the front features still exist today with the two-story bay window and some of the wood detailing as well. Just a couple other images for us to reference back to. This image on the upper left is from 2008. And then the picture on the bottom right is kind of more of a contemporary photo of what you see out there today. And that shows, again, kind of the existing layout and footprint of the home from both of those dates as it exists today. And then a few very current photos, just giving the state of the building. So this home has been vacant for a number of years. I think we can say it's in the double digits right now that it's been vacant and kind of left within letting it take its course on the property. So we now have an active property owner on the site ready to do work to bring this place back up to working order. Just some zoomed in photos of some of the detail of the cornice and soffit fascia details that are very notable for the home, of which will be either repaired or replaced where needed. There's a lot of holes and gaps along this detailing that the new homeowner is planning to repair. This is a survey drawing of the home. There's a couple additions on the property or on the building footprint, one that exists on the south side of the building and then one that exists on the north side. So those are both kind of the areas in question this evening for the site alteration permit. The rest of the home will basically stay intact with kind of the work that's being done here. And then a few floor plans too, just to give us an understanding of kind of the layout or program of the interior of the space if we need to refer back to that. But much of what we're focusing on today and with the permit is with the exterior work. So the request this evening is for a site alteration permit, which is a required process for historically designated buildings or structures within the city to go through if they're doing major exterior renovations on a home. So it doesn't, not necessarily for interior alterations, only for alterations that are on the exterior that will have some significant change to what you're seeing out there today. So specifically what's included in this site alteration permit is the property owner wishes to make changes to the north porch addition to season porch. And this would include placement of the storm windows out there with single hung windows and then framing up 40 inches of the base of that structure with wood shake wainscoting. And then also painted at the existing color, which is white. Another part of the request is to remove the south wood porch addition. And I'll show pictures of that, showing exactly what's being removed. I also just want to note some of the other things that they will be doing, but aren't necessarily tied with the site alteration permit request. These are more maintenance pieces that don't warrant the need for a separate site alteration permit, but they're still worth noting in terms of the work that they're doing on the site. So where the south wood porch addition is being removed, there is a door that exits to the outside from the kitchen. So they will be replacing that opening with an actual usable door, which will be a wood panel door. They are planning to replace pretty much all of the windows on the building. A lot of them are vinyl inserts and some are original to the home, but they will be replacing all of the windows on the home to be a double hung aluminum clad or wood exterior window, and then also painted to match what's existing out there today, which is white. And they'll all have grids that are consistent with the original grids on the home. And then they are also planning to replace any of the broken soffit and fascia pieces with all wood replicas and then painting to match what's existing out there, which is a brown color. So the south addition removal includes these photos. So basically the wood lap siding addition on the south side there is going to be completely removed. As you can see, it's in really poor disrepair. It hasn't been touched for a number of years. So the removal of this will definitely be a big upgrade to what's being seen from the exterior. And again, the door that exits out to the side yard here would be replaced with a wood paneled door. And then with the north addition, there exists a 2-season porch out there today that basically has fake siding and then vinyl storm windows wrapping around the entire three edges of it. So they will be using this same footprint, but replacing the storm windows with single hung windows, and then wainscoting 40 inches of the base with additional shakes to match the existing addition material there. And that would all be painted white to match what is existing out there. So in terms of what we evaluate and provide our recommendation to, it reverts back to our HPC ordinance, which then reverts back to the Secretary of Interior standards for treatment of historic properties. So there's 13 standards that are listed within that kind of get into the details of what's changing and how it's being compatible and maintaining architectural integrity out there. I'm not going to go into all of those in depth. It is provided on our website, the full review of that, but I do want to highlight 3 of these that are appropriate or relevant to what's being discussed this evening. So in relation to standard B, the general compatibility of the architectural style, arrangement, texture, color, arrangement of color and materials used on existing and proposed structures with the character of the historic resource in its site or the historic district. So basically understanding what makes this building significant, what are the architectural pieces that stand out, and how is that being maintained, or with the new, how is that going to fit in to the actual building? And if it's within a historic district, how does it fit into that context as well? So just to re-note, it is a Chaska brick house. The brick is going to be retained. They aren't necessarily touching that with the work that they're doing at this moment. They are removing the south addition, which is considered unoriginal to the original structure. So basically, everything that's made out of the brick is a part of the structure. Additions would be alterations or additions done after the original structure was put in. So the removal of an unoriginal part of the building is not of concern from an evaluation standpoint. And the fact that that addition is in such disrepair, the removal of it is almost necessary to bring the original structure back to its enhanced integrity. In addition, the south addition does not meet setbacks for side setback requirements. So removing that would side yard encroachment. And then with the north porch addition, they're staying within the footprint that they already have out there, so they're not adding to it, or that's not a part of the evaluation. Not that that could be considered, but it just makes the request a little bit more simple in terms of the changes that are happening out there. So they are staying within the existing footprint. They're basically just providing enhancements there with the windows and incorporating more of a wainscoting, shake siding to match that existing addition structure, which in our evaluation provides more compatibility from a material standpoint to the historic structure, and will also make that area more usable too for the property. Standard D6, deteriorated historic features will be repaired rather than replaced. Where the severity of deterioration requires replacement of a distinctive feature, the new feature will match the old in design, color, texture, and where possible, materials. Replacement of missing features will be substantiated by documentary. So again, they're retaining the Chaska brick, which is a major architectural piece of this home. New windows that they're bringing in will be double hung clad windows with grids that match the existing, and then also painted to match the existing. And then kind of that big replacement piece with the soffit fascia and cornice detailing. They do plan to repair and replace where needed with wood replicas where those are. And last standard that I wanted to bring up is which is new additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction will not destroy historic materials, features, and spatial relationships that characterize the property. The new work will be differentiated from the old and will be compatible with the historic materials, features, size, scale, and proportion, and massing to protect the integrity of the property and its environment. So the alterations to the north porch addition will provide an upgrade in materials and usability. New windows will replace vinyl storm windows, and the new windows will be the clad windows. And it will be converted into a 3-season usability addition. So giving a little bit more square footage to the home to be used today is definitely an enhancement. And the material being used will be the same material that's out there today. So it does differentiate itself from the original brick structure, but does so in a way that is compatible and differentiates itself to be a newer addition. So with that, we are asking you to make a motion this evening to approve the site alteration permit for 121 Hickory Street North, based on the conditions that are listed in the staff report. This is a public hearing, because it is a site alteration permit. So we will be opening that up for people who would like to, provide comment towards this request. Happy to answer any questions. We do have the property owner and applicant here in the audience as well, if you have any questions for them. Thank you.
So I guess my question was answered, that Chaska brick isn't.
Wow, after hearing you put it that way.
Yeah, yep.
My apologies for this. He just won't stop.
I have a question about the site. There's two other buildings on the site. Do they play into this at all?
Not at this time, but I can have the property owner come up for the mic and maybe to what their plans are for that.
I'm Kenny Schultz, the property owner. I plan, so the garage really stay as is. It's in fine shape. We're gonna look at putting a roof on it. But it's just a flat roof, you know. I'll look at, in the future, I'll look at doing a garage door. I can do a garage door and roof on that eventually. So there was an old chicken coop in the back, like, or I'll call it a chicken coop, but it's gone now. There's, the walls were, it's gone.
Okay.
Yep, so that must be the second one. There's an old, like an old fire pit in the back. Keeping that,
Sure.
if that's what you're talking about, but yeah, there was. So,
Site plan showed.
yeah, one in the back corner.
You say is gone.
Yep, that's, oh,
Okay.
so yeah, really just the garage that I haven't decided what, I mean, you know, it's a cool garage. It's small, but you know, historical value there. That's it. No other questions?
No questions.
It was very thorough. This is a public hearing, so at this time I will open up at 7:23 PM and let anyone who's in the audience or on Zoom come up and speak at the podium in regards to this item. If you come up to speak, please state your name and address for public record.
Is there anyone on Zoom that would like to use the raise hand feature and we can unmute you?
I'm Jim Fink. I live on 205 North Elm Street, and I'm so glad he's gonna do this. Cause it's been an eyesore and live right there, and it's gonna be beautiful to have that house repaired to the way it should be. So I'm so happy that you're doing it.
No, thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
I don't have anyone on Zoom.
Okay. At this time, I will close the public hearing at 7:24. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to approve.
Second. Wilbert. Who second?
Second.
Second by Mueller. Sorry. To approve the site alteration permit for 121 Hickory Street North, Kenny Schultz, HPC number 2024-01, based on the findings and conditions listed in the staff report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All ayes, motion carries.
There you have it.
Thank you.
That completes 7A, so.
If anybody wants to come help,
Oh, there you go.
have my number. I have plenty of work to do now.
Looking forward to driving by and seeing it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. There you go.
If you teach me some things, I'll come help.
Yeah.
Oh, are you?
Hmm.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Oh, you did, yeah. You're the one we were borrowing power from. So.
So we have to continue a meeting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming. Thank you.
That moves us on to item number 8, discussion items. Liz,
Yeah, I don't have much. I might just actually bring up the memo to show our 2024 goals here.
Yes,
So just bear with me for a second.
I'm so sorry, guys. Oh,
I had to call back in December.
Oh.
It took a while.
this is
Yeah, I
insane.
got sick on January 1st and I think I finally was better on like, it was January 21st.
I've heard.
Yeah.
It's like
lucked
3
out. I
weeks.
had my physical right about the same time, so the doctor gave me some antibiotics, like 2 courses to get rid of it.
I think that's what I need.
It's
Nice.
brutal.
It's brutal. And of course, it has to happen now.
Okay. Can you guys see that okay up there?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, we last met in December last year. And we kind of wrapped up the year with trying to start listing out some goals that we want to focus on for 2024. So I did keep the ones that we had in December, and kind of prompted you over the weekend to see if there were any other goals you want to add to the list here. Otherwise, if we're happy with the 4 goals that are stated here, I would like to adopt them officially by you guys, so that we can start making moves to put these into reality. And honestly, if there's prioritization that you want to give to one over the other, it would be good to hear that this evening. If you find that there's some goals that should be looked at a little bit more, or kind of be put in the forefront versus some of the other goals, then it'd be good to hear that. Or if you feel that they're all kind of even keel on their priority, we can just keep it in the list that it is. But yeah, I welcome any other comments or.
You know, I wasn't here in December, but did you speak about like how the timelines for things and how long each goal takes?
Well, I
In-
think that is probably not a very determined
Okay.
value for all of these. I think some of these, if we delve into wanting to do updates to historic districts and stuff like that, those can take months and months.
Okay.
Based on some of the survey work and background collecting of history and other things that need to go into that. So some of those can take a little bit longer. And honestly, on my side, I think we'd want to probably see if we're eligible for grants that might allow us to hire on professionals for this. Because there are specific people that look into these things and can put that work together. And I know that there are some grants out there that we might be eligible for those type of work. But
That's specific to number 1 and 2.
for number 1, for sure. Number 2, that one could be done in a couple different ways. Yes, you could hire a professional architectural surveyor for that type of work. But I do know, at least in the past, if we want to add to our local designation list, the HPC does have a lot of ability to do that themselves in terms of the collection of information, and working with the Historical Society to get some of that information. So I do know that stuff can be done in-house if we feel like we, have the stamina for that. So could go a couple different ways. And number 4 would also fall under kind of the realm of finding a professional to be able to help us with updating our historic context study. And some of that work can maybe go hand in hand, like 1 and 4, in terms of some of the background information that gets pulled for either of those pieces. It could certainly be a comprehensive project that they undertake.
If you hire a professional, let's just say for 1 and 4, what would be our role in that?
I think your role would be to review some of the work that they do, and ask questions too, and provide things to think about. But there would be some type of probably adoption of the survey work and background work that they do.
As far as the application for the grant, what does that entail? Us or that more?
That would be more administrative. Something I would take on. I can keep you updated if we pursue anything or if we're successful in anything. So yeah, with you guys, it's not so much of a big lift on the grant side of things.
For you, a different story?
Yeah. Yep, grant writing is like writing a whole other report, so you need to spend some time doing that
Yeah.
and keep your eyes on deadlines and stuff like that. But I mean, we do it all the time, so I'm not worried about it.
Is there anything we can do as far as maybe researching over at the Historical Society?
I think,
I know Steve's involved and I'm starting to, as of, be a volunteer as of Saturday. I'm gonna be there.
that's great.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
you know, if there's things they need to look up,
I think, you know, the one that is very doable for HPC and doing that type of work is with number 2. When we're starting to collect information for local designations or ones that we think have eligible local designation. There's a whole ton of information at the Historical Society that we would use to help nominate additional properties. Mhm.
I should say Commissioner Mueller. My apologies.
Number 3 stands out to me because it's just the way it's worded, and like it's a top priority. So if we're gonna prioritize things, it seems like it goes to the bottom, but
It's fair.
True.
Do you have any updates on City Square West?
At this point, it's probably the same squeaky wheel response, which is we're still hoping and praying that we get additional funding from the legislation when they make their votes later this year. Because we did get some funding in 2022, I believe it was, or was it 2021? But it didn't cover the full cost of what the project entails. So in order for us to move forward on the project, we need to get additional funding from the legislature to be able to initiate this project. There's still a lot of rumblings about it, of course, and we're kind of waiting until something more official like that happens. If we are successful in getting the remaining funds that we need, it would happen probably later this year, in which case it would kind of spur the process to start looking at the project probably beginning of 2025. That's if we're successful. It's probably, if we're not successful this year, we'll, you know, keep applying or putting our project out there in front of legislation to see if it's something they would continue to have interest in. We did have them tour in October of last year to understand the project, and we did get a lot of good feedback that everyone was very excited about the project. But they do have a lot of different projects around the metro that are in their radar, but I think it's one of their goals they understand that we still need the additional funding to make it happen, and we're still hanging on to that initial funding that they provided us, so I do know they have some motivation to complete it out, to make the funding successful and put into an actual project. So we will see. But I do imagine if that continues forward and real stuff gets to be put on paper, you guys will be included in that. Hopefully on the front end of that, if we bring this through a concept plan, you guys would be a part of that initial process to provide that really helpful feedback to keep in mind as they're putting plans together. Mhm.
Does anybody have any more discussion?
I have nothing else to add.
I'm sorry? No.
Nothing else to add.
Would like to make a motion to adopt the 2024 goals.
Second.
You guys have any more comment on
Oh.
kind of the order of things? I heard, the
It's moving the,
City Square West was probably not as high because you don't have as much control over that. But do you feel order wise, you're okay with kind of the prioritization there, or would you like to move anything around? And again, it doesn't necessarily mean the order that this is listed right now is how we need to do the order of the goals. But if you're fine with it, I say we move ahead with
Okay.
that small change. Mhm.
so did I get a motion to? I thought someone,
I heard a motion in a second.
yeah, I made a motion, but I wasn't sure who made the first motion.
I didn't make a motion, but
Oh,
I can make a
No,
motion.
did you seconded it, I thought,
second, yeah,
but I don't know who made the original.
I've done like two already, so.
You did, okay, yeah, but then this gives me an opportunity to get your name right.
Make a motion.
By Commissioner Welvert. Welvert, there you go. And a second by Commissioner Ricius. You did it, to adopt the 2024 HPC goals. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All ayes, motion carries. That moves us on to item number 9, other business. And there is not any other business.
This is typical round table. So if anyone has anything else they want to share, we can kind of go one by one. If you have any.
I, for one, am very excited that the Dairy Queen reopened.
Goes there this weekend.
Just saying.
Oh,
Yay, City of Chaska, guys, Dairy Queen again. I mean, it's been a long time. It's been since November of 2022.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So-
We're feeling a lot of excitement about that reopening, so. Love their ice cream, and in the wintertime.
yeah.
oh, it's 56 degrees in February. right?
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go.
Summer.
It was pretty packed on Friday. I went there on Friday. Anybody have anything else?
No.
I just have to announce that I will be leaving the Chaska community and moving soon
no.
to Plymouth.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's nice. Like on Medicine Lake?
Yeah, I'm
That's great.
working on that project, plus trying to move out of my house, which I've been in for 50 years.
Oh my gosh.
Has a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Neighborhood one. So
You
well,
have,
I'll stay on the commission as long as I can. I'm also
And
interested in the
with
history
the,
of Chaska.
and the Chaska Historical Society.
I'm already out of this.
Oh, you are? Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did you say you're in neighborhood one?
Yes.
The
one-
Jonathan
One of
neighborhood?
the A-frames.
Oh, I love those houses.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Well, thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you at the
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
HPC meeting.
On lake living.
I like to fish, so
There you go.
it's a good deal. That's actually the best because it's be like being up north and yet you're right in the middle of the city. The
Mm.
skyline
Yeah.
is right there. You can see it.
I
Yeah,
have friends that live there,
that's
so.
really nice.
It's nice.
Anything else? Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Make motion.
Commissioner Bonin has made a motion,
Second.
second by Commissioner Mueller to adjourn.